Very little chance. No rain until 5 o'clock.
Bartender in the world. Yeah. And then also downstairs, I think, who else do we have down there, Chris?
I know.
So that's it. Right over here with the water pitcher. Everybody wave at my beautiful wife, Audrey. She is from near Duluth, Minnesota. She's from northern Minnesota, a little town called Cloquet. And I met her in college, and we've been married almost 44 years. We have 5 beautiful children. She did all the hard work. I had to Florida. That's where it ends. And we could go all the way to Key West without ever going into the Atlantic Ocean. Isn't that amazing? 1,350 miles. So we're only going to do about 6 miles of that, those 1,300. Not quite going all the way to Key West. Unless you guys want to, I can talk to the captain. Sometimes, he says, let's just keep going. Now, we're only going about 6 knots right now. That's a Mariner term for 1.13 miles per hour. So we're going about 6.5 miles per hour. At that speed, I guess we'd be in Key West in about 3 months or so. So y'all can make yourself comfortable. One thing I will mention about the waterway, it's as I said, it's completely man-made. This is not a river. If you don't remember anything else, it's not a river. It's completely man-made. If you look over here to the right, this is still called Barefoot Resort over here, these little condos. If you look at that retaining wall, this is kind of interesting, and it's very clearly visible right now. Look where the water line is right now. And then about maybe 2 feet above this water line, you're going to see a dark green, another water line. If you do like to dance, we love dancing, just keep your clothes on. Oh yeah, and don't throw underwear at the stage. Unless it's been washed recently. I want to do one starting off the day with a little summertime song called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Just watching the tide roll away. That's what you do on a Saturday afternoon. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Sitting in the morning sun. I was sitting on the beach, watching the ships in the now watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. 2 shows every week I would not miss. One was called American Bandstand with Dick Clark, and then at noon in my house, another show came on called Soul Train with Don Cornelius. And I was not a really good dancer. I love to sing, but I used to love to watch those kids dance because they could dance on that. And I love the Spinners, the OJs, the Four Tops, all the great groups, the Stylistics. I mean, just on and on. So let me do one here by another great band on the Motown label called The Temptations. Yeah. Oh yeah. Find that sunshine on a cloudy day.
Everybody say it.
Right, sing it. When it's cold outside, I got another man.
I'm making sure now.
I guess you. This is a guy named Glenn Campbell. Anybody ever heard of Glenn Campbell?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you just a real interesting thing about Glenn. He went to California not to be a singer, but he was a studio musician. He was one of the greatest guitar players ever. He was part of a group called the Wrecking Crew, which was kind of a loosely based term for a bunch of the studio musicians in LA. Some of the greatest players and pickers and stuff. They went to LA because there was a lot of work. That's where all the records were being made. So Glenn Campbell just started out as a session guitarist in Los Angeles. And one day, it was not unusual for songwriters to bring in songs to create what's called a demo. And that way they could present it to an artist. Sometimes somebody would demo a song. But the weekends and the clotheslines and the junkyards on the highway. And some other woman's crying to her mother, cause she turned and I was gone. Well, I sit and I run inside till the door man stand my face, and the sunlight burn me till I'm blind. But not to where can I see you walking on the back road by the river that virgin along my mind. I took my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling, crawling sunshine. My bitters are rough and cold pie, and the dirty hat pulled low across my face. With a cup hands round a tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and like you're moving on the back road by the rivers of my memory, and the smiling of the virgin along my mind. Great song. I think, was that written by Jimmy Webb? You know, that was written by Jimmy Webb. I know a lot of Glenn Campbell songs. He did have several hits with a songwriter named Jimmy Webb. By the time I get to Picnics and Wichita Lineman, all those songs. I think he also wrote Galveston. I'm not sure if he wrote that one. Guys, I want to let y'all know about this area that we're kind of cruising through here on both sides. It's called Grand Dunes Resort. It's a really nice gated community in Myrtle Beach. These houses on both sides, now you pick out the smallest house on the waterway here, and you're going to pay about $2 million, like this one over here on a fairway or something. But these right here on the waterway start at about $2 million. But they definitely go up from there. There's houses in here that are probably the $7, $8, $9 million range. I'm going to point out a couple to you. This house over here to the right, if you guys have ever heard of a fellow by the name of Jimmy Buffett, this used to be his house in Myrtle Beach. Now, he didn't live here, but he was here quite a bit. This one over here to the right with this little steeple-looking thing on it. I would always go down through here hoping I'd see him out cutting his grass, See Jimmy out cutting his grass way better. But he never, I started singing here about 3 years ago. He died just about 3 months after I started singing on the boat. Never met him, never got to see him, but he was here quite a bit in Myrtle Beach because of 4 restaurants that he owns. It's now his family in Myrtle Beach. Lulu's, I pointed that one out as we were leaving. That's owned by Lucy Buffett. Jimmy used to have a kind of stake in that. And he also had one down in Margaritaville, down in Broadway at the beach. If you from East Tennessee, you might have heard there's a Margaritaville, I believe. There's one in Branson, there's one in Orlando. There's kind of a chain, but they're all owned by the Buffett family now. Also downtown Myrtle Beach, next to the big Sky Wheel. You might have seen that big Sky Wheel downtown. There's a restaurant called Land Shark, and that's also owned by Jimmy Buffett's family now. And there's another Land Shark in Barefoot Landing as well. So he was here quite a bit. Another actor that used to have a home in here. Now I'm not sure how often he came, but I heard that he owned a property in Grand Dunes called. His name was Johnny Depp. Anybody know who Johnny Depp is? The actor from Pirates of the Caribbean. Used to have a house here. I'm not sure if it was just an investment property or what. We have a lot of those kind of things going on. It's a really desirable area. It's gated, so you can't just drive in to Grand Dunes. You got to know somebody or live here. But also Vanna White has a home in here. If you've ever seen Wheel of Fortune, I'm sure you've seen her. She's from North Myrtle Beach. Now she's the only one that I can remember that is actually from this area. She grew up here and went to North Myrtle Beach High School. I'm going to pause Vanna for a minute. I want to tell you about a house coming up over here on the port side, which is the left side of the boat. Y'all see the house where the volleyball net is. Now this is in the top 3 in the whole state of South Carolina. I think the largest is in Charleston, but this one is, I think, number 3 as far as size. This house has got over 25,000 square feet. Private home. Look how deep this thing goes. Look at that thing. It just keeps on going. 25,000 square foot house owned by a local construction guy. They build roads, they build office buildings and things like that. Very, very successful gentleman. Not a celebrity, just a local businessman. But anyway, back to Vanna. She left Myrtle Beach to go out to California to become an actress. She wanted to be a star in television and movies. And so she found an agent, and they were auditioning young girls for a new game show called The Wheel of Fortune. They wanted somebody attractive that could turn the letters. You know, at that time she didn't just touch it and it lit up. Now she had to actually go down there and turn the letters. And they wanted a real pretty girl to maybe keep the guys watching the show, right? So that, you know, that's just common out there. So they offered her the job, but she didn't really want to. When you get tired of being under the boardwalk, you want some sun, you go up on the roof, right? Yeah.
This world starts to get me down. People are just too much for me to say. I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. Yeah. All of me is peaceful as can be. And the world below can't bother me.
This house over here on the left, that's one of the most beautiful homes right here on the left.
Oh, yeah. Come on and number in my little red book. My heart began to thump. Really had a jumping home. More than a number in my little red book. More than a one-night stand. In case you get the thinking, you've been took. No more than a number written in my little red book.
Much more than that.
You can dance, every dance with the guy who gives you the eye to let him hold you tight. You can smile, every smile for a man who held your hand beneath the pale moonlight. But don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Oh, I know that the music sounds like sparkling wine, though it has you some life and sing. But while we're apart, girl, don't give your heart to just anyone. Taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. Oh, my darling, say the last dance for me. You're my destiny. When you meet me out in your life, and darling, you always be my only one. Don't let the sound of his lonely drive you crazy. Like love, while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place on my mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia going on
Just a little too late here. It's the anniversary over here.
And when I heard burden runs on my shoulder, how can I?
I'll see if I have now. If I do, I'll definitely sing.
Here, touch me once. Well, I'm reaching out. We're touching me. touching you. There's a lot of touching going on around here. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. I've been inclined to believe that never. No, no, no. Do-do-do. Keep going. Oh, my sweet Caroline, hey, good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never would. Talk about my sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. That's right. Sweet Caroline. No, Neil Diamond. All right, let me see. I'm gonna try.